Hi, my name is Nancy. Welcome to my channel, Running with Scissors. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I rearranged my sewing room. I'm going to share with you my me-made maze from days 10 through 16, and I have some really exciting news. Don't go away. Before I get started, I'd like to thank Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag that we can all get together every Friday and share our makes and what we want to make and a little bit about life in between. Also, if you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. I'm going to pop up a couple of pictures of how my sewing room looked before I rearranged it. And you'll see where the table is coming out from the wall and I just moved it. And you'll see that in a little bit. I didn't do a whole lot of different things to it, but what I did really made a big difference. Getting a new set of book shelves, moving the position of my cutting table. Those are two things that really made a difference. And I'm going to show you a little video I took of the tour of my room. Also, if you're interested, I will put down in the description box the tour I did of my sewing room a few months ago when I first set it up, and that way you can really see the difference in how I changed it. So here comes the video of the room. Okay, let's take a little tour of my new improved sewing room. So you walk in the door, and there's the table. You see I have it placed against that wall cubbied out instead of the way it was before. Now it doesn't stick out as far, and now there's room for my ironing board. There wasn't room for it before because how far out the table went from this wall there and that wall there. And I had to have my ironing board in the room next door. So now I can have it in here with me. Now if I need to make more room, I can hang it on the back of the door on my hanger. So we come around. The back is pretty much the same as it was before. When I first set it up, I had a shorter table. I had a 4-foot table, and I had my serger sitting over to the right, and there just wasn't enough room on the left of my sewing machine for the fabric to be laying down. So I got a 6-foot table, and then I have this 3-foot table, and I moved my serger, and then I also got my cover stitch machine there. And that gives me a lot more room. Now, I used to have the printer over on the right of the window, but now of course I can't have it there because that's where I put my table, my cutting table. So I just put it over here to the right of my sewing machine, and then I put my filing cabinet here. One thing I'm going to show you that I did, I keep my manuals in the top drawer of my filing cabinet, and I took my manual when I first bought this machine, and you can take it over to either Staples or to Office Depot, and they will punch holes in it and make it into a ring binder. And it's so much easier to look things up, and that way you can turn the pages and flip them around. So if you need a certain page, you can take it and flip it like so. So much easier. But you could take any kind of a manual over to those two places and they'll do it for you. Okay, and there we have my mannequin. Let me give you a better view of the whole room this way. Down here, I keep my patterns. I do my patterns the same way that Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room does hers. I did have them over on that brown bookcase, but I like it better here because it's right next to where I sew, and they're easier to get to. Then, if you saw in the original picture that I put up, I had a smaller bookcase. It was 18 inches over on this wall here. It just wasn't big enough, so I took the brown bookcase and we pushed it over into the corner, and then I bought this one from Target. It was only $40. It's a pretty sturdy bookcase, and I put them side by side. I decided to get white. It's more light and bright, and it matches the cutting table. And then over here is my clock, and look at this little, I don't know what you call it, little drawer unit. I got this actually from a friend who has a thrift store, junk store, I don't know what you want to call it. And what's so cool is that every single drawer has a different knob. All the way down, all the knobs, they're different. Isn't that cool? And also too, the brown bookcase, I bought that actually at a thrift store too, at St. Francis, really close to my house. So you turn around this way, there's the door. I think I have a lot more room here than I did before. As I said, the cutting table doesn't stick out as far because I did have it placed the other way up to the corner of that wall, and so it stuck out about 15 inches further out. And there's no way I would have had room to put my ironing board if I wanted to. So, and that's what we have. I put my logo that my sister made for me. And up here, got a picture of my sister and me. And what's cool is I got these 2 top shelves. And if I need room for more fabric or whatever, I can always take those things down and use it. Now, if you go over here, I actually have one cubby down there that's empty, which is good when you're redoing your room or kitchen or whatever. It's always good to have an extra drawer or a cubby or something that's not got anything in it. That way you can put something in it if you need to buy something more. So I have some of my things here. Down here I've got little baskets of scrap fabric. I don't have a lot of fabric, as you see. I tend to get fabric as I need it, but I do have a little bit of fabric, not a whole lot. So that is what I did with my sewing room. And I like the layout much better than it was before. Oh, this light right here, something interesting, is when the table was going this way, for me to turn the light on, I'd have to walk all the way around the table, around the back, and then turn it on. Now I can just walk right in. And the same thing with these drawers right here. They used to be here on this wall under the light, and it went up to about here, and I'd have to reach behind it to turn the light on. Now I just flip the light on. See, it says Nurses Rock. I'm a retired nurse. I don't usually have this light on here when I do video. It's just too bright, but I definitely have it turned on when I'm sewing. I need all the light I can get. So that is a new layout of my sewing room, and I think it works a lot better for me. I'm really happy with it. Okay. I thought it came out really nice, and I'm really happy with the way I have it arranged. I think for now it'll work, unless I can think of something else to do to change it, but I think right now we're good. Okay, now let me show you the outfits, the me-made outfits that I wore from days 10 through 16. Okay, let's talk about my me-made makes, say that 3 times fast, for days 10 through 16. Okay, the days 10 and 11, I wore the same pattern, but just different fabrics. I used the Simplicity 9273. So on day 10, I wore this, kind of a brush poly, and as I show each make, I will pop a picture of me wearing it. They're the pictures I posted on my Instagram. So there we have it. Okay, and day 11, same pattern. I actually have a dress made out of this too. Very soft, I really like it. Go. And then on day 12, I wore a dress from Rosary Apparel. And here's the dress. Made out of a really pretty seersucker. Let me show it up to you up close so you see the fabric. I wore this to church on Sunday. I really love the color. Okay. On a day 13, I wore this. It's from McCall's 8067. And I did view A. And I got this fabric from Walmart. And these buttons, if you can see the buttons, got them from my grandma's stash. It is a crop top, and I didn't realize how short it was. If I make it again, I will definitely lengthen it an inch or two. I really like it, but it was a little bit short for me. Okay. On day 14, I did the McCall's 7322 View E. Kind of has a boat neck. I believe this is from a cotton lawn. Not know if I'm a real fan of boat necks. I know they seem like they can be slipping and sliding around on my shoulders. And day 15, I'm wearing the Butterick 6924 View A with the long sleeves. I actually made this top before I had my shoulder surgery because I wouldn't be able to lift my arm up. It was easier just to slip, slip it in. And it's made of kind of a real light chambray. And I really liked the way it came out. I thought the pockets came out really nice. And on day 16, I'm wearing what I have on. It's McCall's 8281. It's View C, the one the model's wearing. But I need to talk about this. If you look at it, it's kind of supposed to be kind of a loose-fitting garment. And I did my measurements and all and decided I needed a large. Well, I should have taken a picture. I made it in a large, and I put that thing on. I looked like I was wearing a potato sack. It was huge. So I went ahead and brought in the seams. Now, in doing so, I lost the pockets. But I was not about to take the pockets off, try and put them back on. I just thought, no, not going to happen. So I brought it in 1.5 inches down. It was still too big. So then I brought it, what I did was I started here, and I kind of graded in towards the waist about 1 inch and then down. And that made a big difference. It's supposed to be a little bit loose. It's kind of a summery type of outfit, but make sure you be careful when you look at the finished garment measurements. I thought I had them right, but boy, did I not. I think maybe I could wear a medium in this, and maybe, I don't know. I usually haven't worn a medium in a lot of stuff, but this just goes to prove the sizes on ready-to-made or even on sewing patterns. You can't go by the size. You have to go by not only the measurements, but by the finished measurements. And I thought I had done it, but I did do some altering to it. I'll stand up. I also have a picture and a little video to show you of me wearing it, but it is still a little bit loose, but it's very comfortable. It's made of this cotton gauze. Let me get a little closer so you can kind of see the fabric. It's a cotton gauze. And I really like it. And I think I finally fixed it to where it's wearable. You just never know with with patterns, how it's going to work out. But usually you could fix it. Usually it's doable. You can fix it. I just lost the pockets, but that's okay. I don't tend to put anything in my pockets but my hands anyway, so no big deal. Okay. Now, what's really fun about having my room rearranged? I've got more options of where I can record my videos. If you look at my old video, they're not even that old, even just last week, before I changed my room around, I had to sit behind the table. And that's pretty much where I sit, or I might sit here on my sewing bench. That's the only two places I really videoed. But because of the way this room is arranged, I've got more options to record my videos. I can sit here on my sewing bench and record it here, or here, or here, or here. Okay, here's the exciting news I was telling you about. Do any of you watch Tony from So Lounge? She's based in Texas and she's wonderful. Well, every once in a while she will have a live stream and she asked me to be one of her guests. I'm excited and I'm terrified all at the same time. Not only am I going to be a guest of hers, also Zelda from Zelda Sews is going to be on it. She's a fellow Ohioan too. She's lovely. And Julie from the Curated Curvy. The three of us are going to be guests on her live stream. It's going to be on Saturday and it starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So you might want to check your time. You might want to go ahead and go to Tony's channel, So Lounge, and go ahead and subscribe to it. And then it'll tell you in your time zone what time it starts. I think the topic's going to be Me Made May. I have no idea what we're going to discuss. It's not the same as planning what you're going to say when you make your videos. I'm just going to be there and answering questions, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm pretty excited about that. So if you can join us live, because that way you can make comments in the chat. And if you can't do it live, well, you can always watch it in the reruns. Okay, well that's pretty exciting. Tonight my husband and I are going to go to a baseball game because we have a baseball team, a minor league baseball team in our area. We're going to do that tonight. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. I'd love it if you would subscribe, if you give me a thumbs up. Come back and see me next week, and we still have another half of the month to do Me Made Mays. I remember Zelda said she was running out of things to wear, and I still have a few things in my closet I can use. So I'll see you next week. You take care. God bless. Goodbye.